Hey everyone, it's Em from My Life Planned. Thanks for joining me today. You can see this box that I have in front of me. It's my sterling ink order. Let's unbox it and talk it out together. I thought it would only be fair to do pretty much the same pen test that I did in the Paper Test Designs planner. And full disclosure, I've definitely over-ordered. I don't know what planners I'm using for next year, so I'm kind of prepared for anything, but it is definitely a bit too much. I feel like it could be a long video, so I will do my best in my YouTube learning phase to put some timestamps at the bottom in the description. Okay, just to give you a rundown what we will be looking at, I have the A5 complete, I have the B5 horizontal full year planner, the horizontal compact full year in A5 size, daily A5, daily B6, don't ask, and the daily pocket. And then I have A5 inserts, daily, monthly, or weekly. So if you're interested in any of those, keep watching. I am very glad that everything is in one piece. I'll see if I can put a picture somewhere on the page to show you how my package was delivered. The orders for the launch this year are coming with this beautiful hand designed card from Catherine. It has a QR code, 30-day planning challenge, monthly journal prompts, vision board guide, and how to plan guide. I had a look at the website that's linked on this QR code, and it's a really great idea from Catherine. I think it's partly designed for people who might be new to planning, but it's a really great resource, and I am definitely going to use some of those prompts. And it's a beautiful card. You also get freebies when you order from Sterling Ink. So again, another beautiful hand designed card and a link to Catherine's website and some really nice stickers. Everything Catherine does is so beautiful. Her designs aren't always my style. I don't think my planning is always so pretty, but they are beautiful nonetheless, and I'll find a way to put them in my planner. Now, I ordered this A5 booklet. I don't know why. I'm sure it will come to me, but the booklets just have the opening yearly pages, the same blank page, the goals breakdown, the yearly overview page, and then the quarterly pages. And then it just starts in December and has all of the months. And then it has graph grid pages at the back. There are 17. So if I remember why I ordered this, that would be great. But the booklets are, really great. I think she decreased maybe the offering of the sizes for the booklets for next year, but let's see if I can figure out why I ordered this. I think we'll start with the smallest common planners and move up to the largest. Catherine's packaging is always great. The planners also come in plastic packaging, but I thought I would spare you having to hear me open all of them. This is the packaging from the first common planner from 2023. So packaging has always been, I think, such a really key element of the customer experience. Each of the planners comes with a calendar card that can be used as a pencil board. The Tomoe River paper is definitely thin, and that's what we love about it, but some people prefer to use a pencil board. Most of the time I don't, but this design is really beautiful. I love the pastel colors. Shop front reminds me of, Europe. Beautiful. And this is the pocket daily. So it's in the tweed, and I got the gold edging for this one. So part of my mindfulness practice is that I do daily gratitude, a list of my wins for the day, and if I need to, a list of just what's on my mind to dump it out of my brain. I've been doing this in the Paper Test Designs pocket, but that has additional pages that I don't need. So I thought I love the pocket size, and this daily page is perfect. It's honestly my messiest planner. I really just scribble all over the pages. So let's have a little look at the layout. So you've got your front page, you've got your embossing of the year, your end paper, which is thicker. Then you have your 2026 calendar. I don't know, like for this planner, what I might actually use these pages for. This is the blank notes page, yearly overview. Maybe I might write like my mood for the day or something. These, I mean, it's a pocket planner. It's teeny tiny. You can see you've just got 3 squares per day. Maybe I'll do a color code and do a mood or an energy tracker. You've got your quarterly overviews. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares per day. And you can see that the weekends are circled for next year. So that's the 3rd and 4th quarters. All of the monthlies start in December of this year, which is nice when you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck between 2 planners. So you've got all of your monthlies. They are, I mean, they're small boxes, but I know a lot of people just live in a pocket and it's great. And you do have the week numbers down the side there, which is pretty discreet. I mean, I still think it would make more sense to put them on the right because you're not really using that space. But anyway, that's just me. So we'll get through these monthlies. They do finish in January of 2027. That's pretty scary, 2027, but I do appreciate that as well for the time of the end of next year when you're stuck again. So stuck between 2 planners, 2 years. So each month starts with a blank page and then you get into the dailies. So I won't be using the timeline, but I really appreciate a timeline in a daily planner that I'm using actually for scheduling. So it goes from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. if you're looking for a pocket planner to do your more traditional planning in. So you've got the day, the year, and then the date. And each day on the right has, you know, the kind of grayed out tabs. So it's an inbuilt tab. You can see, like if you flick down the side, so it's easy to find where you're going. So every day, I was hoping to find the end of the month, and there we go. So you get to the end of the month, and this one has 2 blank pages, and then your February page. I'm not sure if every month will always have 2 blank pages, if it's designed that the opening of each month is on the left. Let's have a look. So I've got the 28th, 1 notes page. And another 2 notes pages. So perhaps it is that way. It's not, I don't think it's really that important, but we'll see. We'll check one more month. So yeah, 31st. I would say it looks like there's at least always a double page spread, and then starting the month on the left. So because it is just a daily planner, it doesn't need all of those additional notes pages that the traditional common planners have. So these are the December notes pages. So we go from page 446 to 479. So there's just a handful of notes pages, which would still be quite handy. I thought we'd try and maybe look at the 2 other daily planners together. The card that comes with the B6, oh, it's so gorgeous. It's really not my style at all. Red isn't really one of my favorite colors, but it is, I mean, the detail and the design, it is stunning. This one, a bit more my style. They're doing some construction work on the house next door to me. If you can hear it, I'm really sorry. So, and this is the A5 pencil board. So I'll put those off to the side. Now, Catherine's customer service team is great. I didn't initially order this, but you might have picked up from my other videos. I was craving using this Louis Vuitton cover that had been sitting in my stash a little bit unloved. So I added the B6 onto my order. I emailed them overnight a few days after I ordered and asked if there was any chance that I could add it in because I didn't want to pay international shipping twice, and they were so accommodating, which is great. Now, I honestly am not sure if I will be using either of these planners next year. I did get the gilded edges. I love the look of the black with the gold. I also really love the black, the onyx with the white edging as well. I was in a gold mood. Yeah, I'm not sure what my plan is for next year. The plan that's been, well, the system that's been working really well for me is using the Paper Test Designs Manager's Notebook for my big kind of overview planning, and then doing all my daily planning in a daily planner. I used this year's A5 daily from Sterling Ink for quite a while, and I just jumped into the Paper Test B6 for Q4 just to change it up. So I'm not sure if I will continue that system, and if I do, which ones of these I will use. I imagine I will probably stick with an A5 if I do use the Sterling Ink, and the B6 might become my daily journal, perhaps. We will see. Let's have a look at the B6 first. So you will know all of these pages if you've used Sterling Ink before, but if you are new to it, let's have a quick look. So you've got your calendar page, same as the pocket, blank spread. You've got your yearly overview. I never use this page. It's one of my just frustrating planner idiosyncrasies that I go into analysis paralysis with it, and I overthink it, and then I kind of just don't end up using it. So hopefully that will change next year. Your quarterly pages, then your monthlies all together. Sometimes I've been using a bundled planner at the moment, so I forget that they're all together. And then again, you go into the daily pages. So in a B6, it is 6 a.m. till 12 midnight. And let's just have a look. None of these pages are significantly different on the A5. It's just bigger. Like if we look at the quarterly overview pages, there's just a bit more room in the A5. So if to be truly equivalent, let's look at the same page in the B6 and the A5. So you can see there's just some more lines or boxes at the top and at the bottom, but essentially the functionality, it's the same. And the B6 is obviously more of a square page compared to the A5. It's more rectangular. So the A5, the timeline, better get in frame. The timeline also goes from 6 a.m. to 12, but you can see there are 3 lines at the top of the page in the A5, and I would say that there are 2 in, oh, is it the same? It's the same. So just my eyes are deceiving me. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if you're one of those people that can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do stuff, I wish I was like you. You've got room at the top, or if you want to write AM routine, or I usually put a little today header. So the timeline is the same. I feel like comparing these planners, it's getting chaotic. But anyway, so at the bottom of the page, it is different. So you've got quite a bit of space in the A5 after the 12 a.m. finish, and just a few lines in the B6. So you could really put a lot of notes or lists down the bottom in the A5 that perhaps you can't in the B6, but realistically, if you're kind of going to bed around this time anyway, I know everyone is different, you will have a bit more room down there. So again, just like the pocket, there's a few notes pages at the back of both of them. I was so happy when Catherine bought out the daily planner. It was a couple of years ago that it was undated, and then I think those did really well. So as of 2025, moving into next year, it's really great to see some dated daily planners. All right, next up we have the A5 horizontal, but the compact. I've never ordered a compact planner from Catherine before. So this is the calendar card, gorgeous, a lemon tree, very I'm on holidays in Europe vibes. Wouldn't mind be doing that right now. This cover is really smooth. It reminds me a lot of the texture of the mulberry cover from this year. So the pages at the front are all the same. I don't think you need to see them again, but this is what the weekly pages look like. So the week number is written at the top, and then you've got your days in horizontal, and then a full notes page per week. So I think when I ordered this, I really just wanted the pink planner. I was thinking I might use this for like a health planner, health and fitness, maybe. Not sure. Now I've started this channel, maybe it could be a content planner. I'm not 100% sure, but that's okay. Like I said, I actually have no idea what planners I'm using for next year. So yay. This one, that's the last weekly page. So the notes pages are individually numbered in this one. So we start at page 1 and we go all the way up to page 119, and then you have your back page. So it is very compact. I will actually just grab a full year so we can compare. Okay, here is the size compared to the A5 horizontal mulberry for this year, and like I said, the textures are pretty much the same to me, so it's much thinner. I also got a cover so we can do a bit of cover testing to see, I don't know, if it feels funny being in a cover because it's so small. I know that sounds silly, and of course it's fine. There's lots of room in there compared to how a normal size planner, but I'm like shaking it around to see if it's okay, but it doesn't feel loose or anything in there. I really got this cover out to see, just to show. I know that the complete planner isn't going to fit in there, but I just wanted to kind of show how it doesn't fit. So it sounds like I'm crowdsourcing ideas. If you have any ideas for how I can use this, do let me know. Okay, the B5 is next. The calendar card is the same as the one that came in the A5 daily. It is beautiful. This B5 is my work planner. This B5 is my work planner. This is my one from this year. It is the planner that I have used pretty much every day. I've got another clear cover, so I'll probably leave this on. Have different tabs on each section, and the inside is exactly the same as, oops, that was a bit stuck, as all of the others, but it's just big. And it's funny because in comparison, I feel like it looks like a giant planner compared to the A5, but when I'm actually using it at work, it like doesn't feel massive at all. So if you're scared of the size, don't be, but everything is larger, so you have a really good visibility on all of these pages. My goal for work next year is actually to make better use of these quarterly pages. The months are giant, which is great, so I go in and I put in all kind of big calendar events on the monthly, and then the weekly pages, they're the same as they are obviously in the A5 horizontal. How I use it at work, you have these little notches drawn on to the tops and the sides. I have two main components of my job, so I draw a line down the middle every week with ruler, and I just use 1/2 for each part of my job. I'm making the tripod shake, whoops. And then just put in all my daily stuff here. And because it is a full year, we have 367 blank notes pages. By the end of this year, I probably will have used half of mine, but I think it's that scarcity mindset a little bit in terms of work. I don't want to run out of pages, so maybe I could have used a compact, and I'll see, you know, for 2027, if maybe the compact might be better. Okay, now we are on to the complete planner. This is the new one for 2026. This one has this sticker on it, I think because it is shrink wrapped. Okay, it does come shrink wrapped, so I'll just take it out of the packaging. for the complete planner, I chose the charcoal with the white edges. I love the contrast of the dark grey with the white edges. It comes with an elastic. The elastic is joined at the top and the bottom, and it has a gusseted pocket at the back. I don't love elastics on planners. I don't really ever use them, but the design on this one is really quite clever, and I did get a clear cover that I'll show you as well that's been like designed for this elastic. So most of the time when there is one, I cut it off or I just put it at the back like this. The fabric of this cover definitely feels really nice. It's different to the tweed cover that looks tweed but isn't tweed. It feels a bit rubbery, but this one is fabric. The initial pages are all the same, so as I walk you through those, I might explain my thinking a little bit. So as I said, I have been using the system of 2 planners, with one of them that I do all my kind of big picture planning. I map out my weekly schedule. This year with my job, time blocking has been really important for me in planning out my week. So I can see what's happening, look for the margins in how I'm going to fit everything in, and then using a separate daily planner. But for 2026, we've seen the emergence of some everything planners, I would call them. And obviously Catherine is really cleverly calling hers the complete planner. It's maybe similar to the Hobonichi cousin in that it has these vertical weekly pages, but it also has dated daily pages with a timeline, and that's new to Catherine. So all of her standard common planners have either a vertical or a horizontal weekly, but then they have blank pages because not everybody wants to use these pages as a daily planner. Some people want to use them for journaling or for note taking, or for meal planning, for commonplacing, for whatever. So this is a really unique offering that she has. So it's also a bundled planner, and her first bundled planner. So we've got December monthly, and then at the start of each month you have a blank notes page, and then it's a bit funny to start off with because there's just 1 week, I think, but then you've got your vertical layout. I used to hate vertical weeks, but as I said, now I do need it for my planning. You can see the timeline goes from 6 a.m. to midnight, just like it does on those daily pages, and then down the side you've got space for notes, you've got the monthly calendar at the top, and then it is bundled with the daily pages. So again, you've got the day of the week, and then you've got the actual date, and you can see it's kind of mirrored pages, and then you've got the timeline down the side. So this is Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. I think I did not choose, honestly, the best place to start off because it looks like that it doesn't flow as well as it does. But let's talk it through. So essentially, you've got the 31st of December because it's in the first week of next year. So at the end of a month, you would get a blank piece of paper, and then maybe we'll start at January. So we've got our January calendar. At the start of every month, you get a blank double notes page. So you could use this for your monthly task list, your monthly budget. You might, like your monthly goals, you might draw out another monthly calendar if you use one for personal and one for work, for example. And again, you get your daily page. Now, the thing about this planner that I find like a little bit odd is that at the end of a month, you've got, the end of one month and the start of another. And then when you get to the start of the month, the same week is repeated. So Plum Paper do a similar thing, but they grey out the days that aren't in that month, which I really don't like. But I just don't know how I feel about the repeated weeks, because I don't think I want to like map out the same week twice. For me, it's for scheduling. The weekly isn't for decorative planning or for like the hobby aspect of planning, which I love, but it might be fine for some people. But I can't think of a consistent way to use the double up pages, because not every month is going to be doubled up. So if we look at the yearly calendar, so there are some months where you don't have the weeks like being intersected. Like if we look at May, the month finishes on the 31st. So there's not going to be a double up week in the planner. So I can't consistently say, for example, oh, you know, I'll use the first of the doubled spreads to like tally up my budget for the month, because it means I wouldn't be able to do that in May. So anyway, it's really not a big deal, but I think it does like interrupt the flow of the planner perhaps a little bit. So because that does interrupt like December and January a little bit, let's look through a different month. Like let's look through February. So you've got your monthly spread, you've got your blank notes page, you've got your weekly page, and then you get your, I'll see, I don't really understand that. Okay, yes I do. So bear with me, it's new. So because I think Sunday is the end of the week, you always get a blank notes page, depending how you look at it, either at the end of each week or the start of each week. I think you could use this notes page as a weekly reflection, or you could use it as your task list for the week coming, or like a dashboard page. You could do your meal planning here, your weekly task list, your weekly goals, however you want to do it. Then you get into your vertical week, and then you get into the next week. So I think we've got there. So you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then you get the blank page. If you are using this planner, I would so love to know, how are you going to use these notes pages? Are you going to use it purely as a notes page? If you are going to assign it to a week, is it going to be like after a week or before a week? I'm very curious about that. And then I believe sometimes at the end of the month, there might be some notes pages. So at the end of February, after the 28th, you have 2 notes pages, but it might not be the same at the end of each month. Sometimes you might get 1. I have seen in Catherine's Facebook group, I think a couple of people have gone through and written down where all of the notes pages are, because each page is numbered. As I mentioned, they are definitely scattered throughout the planner. So I love that it's bundled. There are not many notes pages at the back, which is fine because it's a Gigantor planner. So we go from page 652 to page 671. So there's just under, I think, 20 notes pages in this book. So it is thick. Let me just get, I don't know where I put my one from this year to do a bit of a size comparison. Here is the size comparison to a regular full year common planner. So you can see that the complete is, you know, thicker and it's taller. It also has 2 ribbons, which I don't think I mentioned, which for this style of planner might be quite handy. It might come as a surprise to you when you hear me say, oh, I don't really love ribbons in a planner, but I often cut them out, but I think I'll keep them in here and see. Now, if we're looking at covers for this, a lot don't fit. It does not fit in the Louise Carmen, in case you were interested. And I know it won't fit in this Giulio Appunto, but I just wanted to show you how much it doesn't fit. Okay, so this is my A5 cloud, and I mean, you can see the cover's not even going to go in the back, and I wouldn't want to push it, and I knew it wouldn't fit from what Catherine was saying anyway. You know, get in shot, Emily. So yeah, it wouldn't fit. I'd initially heard from Catherine that the complete planner did not fit in the LV desk agenda, but then in her group someone had made it fit. So let's see if we can get it in here. I think she said it was something about the elastic, and this person said they had to get their child with their itty bitty little hands to get in there. It's definitely a tight fit, but I don't have a cover for it, and I do love a cover. Oh my gosh, it fits. It looks lovely. So that's a really nice surprise. Does anyone else's LV covers like it's curling out a little bit? It's annoying me. Anyway, separate to this is great. So I don't think I'd try and get both covers in, but I don't do that anyway. But I know some people prefer it. I can see like that it's probably going to stretch this leather over time. So I really will need to make a decision about whether I keep it in here or not. But yeah, very happy about that. Oh my gosh, getting it out is like a bigger workout than putting it in there. Okay, I'm going to, there we go. Yeah, I don't want to stretch that out too much. Next, we'll look at the clear cover. Okay, I'm confused about this cover because it looks like this, but the pocket bits are on this side. I think it's been folded the wrong way, which, no, I don't know if I can be bothered dealing with this today. Let's see. It has been designed for the elastics to pop through these little slits there. So I think to start off with, I need to move the elastic to the front. Okay. Oh, this is like putting covers on planners on video. Humbling experiences, people. Okay, there we go. So does this line go all the way down? I'm confused. I don't get it. I feel like, oh, okay. It just wasn't properly perforated because I was thinking, how am I meant to do this? Okay. Ugh, don't love that. Anyway, so because of the binding, hopefully this is the type of elastic, the type of book. Oh geez, I'm sure there's better ways to do this. That, yeah, it can fold back on itself, the book, and then the cover can go in. Okay, yeah, I think this is wrong how it was sent to me. See how there's a big ridge on the side? It doesn't really matter, but I don't want that, like that little blippy bit. So anyway, the elastic does come out. There's a pen loop. I hate pen loops, but that's okay. But it is a really, really clever design that the elastic can still be used with the clear cover. I imagine that I will probably use the LV cover because I love clear covers, but I think this book is so beautiful. I don't really want to be like using the plastic version of it, if that makes sense. But ingenious clear cover design from Catherine and her team, and an amazing price point. I don't know if I'm going to be using this planner. I ordered the Rosy Life Flow planner, which is quite similar, but I also don't know if I actually want an everything all-in-one planner. For example, my system that I use now, I know I sound like a broken record. When I'm using my paper test designs, I map out my week and then I use my separate daily so I don't have to kind of keep turning the pages back. I know that's like not a real problem to have, but I imagine that I will probably start out the year using both systems to see what I like, because it is also a hobby for me and it's fun. Okay, I think I got most of the same colours that I had used for my pen testing in the paper test designs. So while I'm doing this, I would love to know if you've got your planner layout for next year decided. In case you can't tell, I have definitely mentioned it. I do not. We have been really spoiled by everything on offer to us for next year from the amazing, I would say, innovators in our planner community. There are lots of new planners as well. I also have, you probably won't be surprised to hear, I've got some more coming as well. I ordered, as I said, I ordered the Rosy Life Flow planner, which I'm very excited about. I ordered that before we had heard about the complete planner, so I will definitely do a comparison of those two when it's delivered. So yeah, I've got the Rosy Life coming, and I also ordered from Aura Estelle. I'm really intrigued by their planners. Their daily, they've always done in B6, and I've always wanted them to do an A5, and they did an A5. So keep your eyes out for reviews of those. Now we have our super pigmented dot markers. I started the paper test designs daily pen test with these, and then because they're so dark and pigmented, they're not the type that I would normally use anyway. Once I changed to the B6 and Manager's Notebook pen testing, I added in these ones, which aren't as full on. And then finally the pens. So I don't know if I've got all of my pens, but this is the Sarasa Clip Uniball. This is the one I use in my work planner. We've got Sarasa Dry. Ooh, that one's always so nice to write with. Sarasa Mark On. Done that. This stupid pen that I hate. And it's funny because I don't love these pens, but I'm thinking about getting the Hobonichi colourful set, which I think is by the same people, which is silly. And this is the everyday pen that I use. And in the others, I also did a drying test. So you can see that one dries straight away. So if we have a look, the colours are lovely on the page. I accidentally overlapped some of them there. And the ink is great. I know that with TRP in 2025 across various planners, people had issues. So let's have a look at the underside. So Tombo's great. Mildliners I also think are fine. That dark one, that's the Sharpie, but we're using the same markers we use everywhere. And to be honest, you can see a lot of those bright dot markers as well. I think some people were pretty freaked out by how the dots looked on the Paper Test Designs paper, but I mean, those dots are dark and they are bright. It doesn't surprise me that they are showing through. For me, all the TRP that I've tested across different planners so far this year is pretty much holding up the same. I took the clear cover off and I feel like I'm so tempted to just cut these elastics off, but I'll just keep it at the back for now. Okay, let's have a look at the inserts. This is a new product for 2026 from Catherine. I got the A5 size. I started off as a planner in A5 rings, and I've said a couple of times in this video, the hobby side of planning. I feel like that's why I bought these inserts. For me, they're going to be my no pressure planner for next year, and if I use them and I love them, it's fun, great, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't use them. Now, they each come with this cardstock page, which I think is really clever because it's like a built-in divider for your sections, and it's embossed. It's pretty classy looking. Now, the paper is Cosmo Airlight paper, so it's the same branding of paper as what's in the B5 Manager's Notebook from Paper Test Designs. So it's not TRP, it is thicker. It actually looks a bit more cream coloured. Let's have a look. This is this year's Common Planner. What do we think? It's a little creamy, maybe, but it's not like that yellow of the Hobonichi Weeks, for example. So let's have a walkthrough. Thought we'd start with the weekly. I don't know why I thought we'd start with the weekly. I think I meant to start with the monthly, but we'll start with the weekly. So you've got a plain page, and it's very similar to the layout of the Common Planner, except you've got a hybrid weekly, really. So the columns are similar in terms of the vertical weekly, but running down the side, you also have a horizontal week. I think this is such a clever layout. We saw hybrid planners starting to be released for 2025, and then I know a few brands have released them for next year. We have Just Scribbles has a hybrid. We have Faded Chronicle has a hybrid. Oh, surprise, I've pre-ordered that too, so that will be here at some stage. And then there's the other planner company that I probably won't mention because I think some of their customers never got their hybrid planners last year. So the columns look a little bit narrow. I might grab the complete planner and we'll compare the weeklies. Okay, so I've got the complete planner on the left and the inserts on the right. So I think it looks like the columns are the same width. It's just that instead of having that space for your weekly lists or notes down the side of the complete planner, that's where you have the horizontal section. I think, as I said, it is a really, really clever design. I don't think we've seen anything like this in rings before. The only issue that I think I have is where on these pages am I going to put like notes or lists for the week, but there is the bottom section of each page, and I suppose when I am showing up for myself better, I'm not going to bed at 12 o'clock. I'm aiming to be in bed at 10. So I guess there is that section at the bottom of the pages. But yeah, love this design. So it's all of the weeklies. Oh, I've jumped into February. I want to get to an end of a month to see how they look for separation. So yeah, there's no like separating between months, which is fine. I'm just thinking about people who like to put their planners, you know, bundled in their rings, but everything just flows from one week to another, which makes sense. And then there's just a blank page at the end. So maybe we will have a look at the monthly next. Okay, onto the monthly again, same cardstock. So this is where you get the kind of opening pages that we find in the Common Planner as well. So you get the yearly overview, the yearly calendar, and then you get your quarterly pages, the same that we see in the Common Planner. And then again, it starts with December, moves through January, all the way to January 2027, and just a plain notes page to finish. We'll finish off with the dailies. We're getting there, guys. It's been a long one. The dailies are a little different because even though they are dated, they're only semi-dated in my opinion. So each set comes with a monthly page and it's got the numbers of the month, so 1 to 31, so you could use this as a monthly tracker. And then we get straight into the dailies. So whereas the monthly and the weekly inserts are fully dated for 2026, this daily has, you know, January 2nd and then the days of the week for you to use a dot marker or a sticker or circle or highlight. And the timeline looks a little bit different to how it does on the complete planner. So in the complete planner, you can see how the, well, if I put it in frame, you can see how the timeline runs down the side of the page. It's a little bit different on the inserts, that it's kind of got that line in between because you've got a distinct border around the edge of the page. But again, it goes from 6 till 12, so it has exactly the same timeline. I think the grid sizes look the same. You can see here the paper is a bit more cream compared to the books, but again, it's a totally different type of paper, so that would be why. So let's have a look. I don't know how I feel about it not having, like, being properly dated, but I also understand that this is new for Catherine, and I guess she really needs to see how well they sell. Another thing that is great on these pages is you also have the little marks on the page if you want to separate them. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So to divide it into 5, which is interesting because I think I would always just prefer one in the center. But this line or this line would be great to draw to kind of separate the timeline. And you've got the notch in the middle of your page here. So at the end of the month, we've got a notes page for the month. It's notes on the back, and then we get into that February page. So because it's a year and it is the Cosmo Airlight paper, it is a hefty bundle. Just these daily pages are much thicker than a common planner, which has all of the pages. I am going to do a pen test on the back of this notes pages, but I won't film this one. I'll show you the results. Okay, here are the results of the pen test. So the Tombos are at the top, the mild liners, dot markers and pens. As I have with the others, here is the smear test. You can see that well, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but at the bottom of the L's in hello, it does smudge a little bit. I think it's just how some papers are different to the TRP. This is the Cosmo Airlight. And then if we look at the back, it performs in a really similar way to the Cosmo Airlight in the paper test designs. There is really minimal show through at all. Whereas if we, and the top hello is the Sharpie. So not even bleed through on that. Let's compare. So we've got the complete planner on the left and we've got the Cosmo Airlight insert paper on the right. And then if we look at the underneath, so Tomoe River paper, Cosmo Airlight paper, really similar tests as we had to the paper test designs in terms of the TRP showing a lot more than the Cosmo Airlight, which might be a factor in your decision making. Who knows? The last thing that we'll have a look at is how the inserts go in some ring binders. This is the comparison of the daily, monthly and quarterly inserts compared to a full year common planner. This is the large Louis Vuitton A5 cover. I might actually do it back up first. I haven't got a page lifter in there, so I don't want to ruin at the back. This is all of the monthlies, all of the weeklies and half of the year's worth of dailies. So I think that's the best fit, because I also don't have any dashboards or dividers or deco of any other type in here. So I think that is definitely enough to be able to move through the pages easily, but I really can't see the other 6 months of pages fitting in here. I can try and see what it looks like, if that would be helpful, but you can see we're so close anyway. Yeah, but I would definitely be doing this with a page lifter when I do actually decide to use them. So, you know, maybe if you were the type to leave your planner open on your desk, but yeah, there's way too many. They don't all fit. This is the Giglio Amica in the A5 size, with again all of the monthly and weekly inserts and 6 months of dailies in there. So again, I think that's a good amount to be having in this one. 30mm rings. Okay, and this is my Gigantor planner. It's the VDS Elysian. It's the manager size with 35mm rings. It's huge. So this is the full year in here. So maybe it just fits if you're going to use it as a desk planner. It would be fine once you got through the first few months of the year to have it open, but I still think it's too clunky to turn the pages. But obviously with these huge rings, you can fit a lot more. Thanks for joining me today. That was quite the walkthrough from this order. I hope it was helpful, and as always, if you have any questions, do ask. I'm happy to message, write back in comments, film based on any follow-up questions. So again, thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel. I am slowly learning and getting there and improving. And again, I hope it was useful. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.